Right, welcome back to the Pro Sports Analysis Show. We featured the Chelsea versus Liverpool match, and what was a rather shocking outcome. We had a lot of goals in that match, a match that we had expected at least a few goals and a slim lead. We rather had a Chelsea side that really underperformed to our expectations, and that was a very poor output there on the field. And so we want to quickly listen to the reaction of our pundits to the match. So let me start with Bruno. Bruno, what's your reaction to the Chelsea performance?
All right. So thank you very much. As we discussed the previous day, going into the match between Chelsea and Liverpool.
Yeah.
Even though we all predicted a very small margin when it comes to goal or least goal, it didn't happen that way because based on records over the past few years, Chelsea and Liverpool has not produced much goals. It is mostly a 1-1 draw or a slim win.
Okay.
But last week, Wednesday, was a shocking moment whereby Chelsea got humiliated by a 4-goal trailer.
Seriously humiliated.
It was a surprise, even though most pundits predicted a win for Liverpool, but not as it went, with a lot of goals flowing in. So it was a surprise anyway.
It was really a big surprise, and that match could have actually ended like 7-1.
Yeah.
Imagine Nunes hitting the woodwork 4 good times. And that is the most any player has even had the whole of this season, and it tells you how poor Chelsea performed out there. On the tally, they had only 4 shots on target against Liverpool's 28 targets.
Yeah.
So, Chichi, what do you think they did wrongly? Was it the fault of the coach? Was it the players' attitude? What do you think cost them this humiliating defeat?
Okay, quickly, you see, we sat here and talked about this match. So,
Yeah.
Chelsea losing against Liverpool 4-1 loss wasn't that. It wasn't that. It wasn't surprising for me actually, even though we knew they would lose.
The margin.
Yeah.
The margin. You see, you tipped that Liverpool had the upper hand.
Yes.
But to win by a slim lead.
Coming to that. You see, I sat here and I was like, Liverpool must win this game, but it won't be easy for them. Mm-hmm. But you see, every game and the tactics or the approach to each game.
Yeah, sure.
So you see the match and you actually talk about it. But on the field of play, certain things change.
Okay.
So I sat here saying that Liverpool might win the game, but it won't be easy for them.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
At the start of the match, things changed for me, and I realized that Liverpool might even end up winning with a goal margin of more than even 5.
Wow.
Because of how they started the game, how they were playing, and how Chelsea responded to the game wasn't that competitive for me.
Yeah.
Because the game, how I saw the game, it didn't go that way for me.
As expected.
Yeah, I saw the game to be a tough one actually, but on the field of play, it wasn't really that tough.
Yeah. So on the field of play, a lot of things happen. The mentality of the players when you go down, and the way Liverpool started. As you said, Liverpool were playing on top form. Yes, they were playing on top of every facet of the field, every position. They were actually doing very well, but Chelsea were not up to standard. What is it that the team's morale is low? Is it the fault of the coach? What could have caused that, Bruno?
Okay, so last week going into the match, I said here that it is likely the coach will play a false 9, that is Cole Palmer.
Okay.
Will be forced to play the number 9 role. And before going into that match, you realize Chelsea against Aston Villa, Palmer was forced to play the. So the same way, so forcing Palmer to play the number 9 role was a kind of difficult for him, because mostly when you look at Cole Palmer, you want to operate from the midfield, then get a goal on his own. But the moment you force him to play the number 9 role, he stand at the up front waiting for other players to supply the ball, which wasn't coming.
Yeah.
You look at Enzo and Moses Cancedo, they were not supplying the balls.
Sure.
So he was just going up and down and playing against the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Gomez. It is one kind of playing against one of the best defenders in the world.
Sure.
So if you don't have that supplies, you'll just be walking in throughout the 90 minutes, and that is what went on wrong for Chelsea.
So the coach should have known better, because he had played Cole Palmer as a false nine in 2 previous games, and you didn't get the results that we all expected. So going into this match, one would have expected that you would actually make some changes there, and introducing Nkuku into the game. And when Nkuku came, you could see that yes, things are starting to turn around.
Sure.
They actually got a goal back.
Yeah.
And then there was a how do you call it, a penalty, an incident that they thought that this should have been a penalty. What do you think about that incident? Was that a penalty?
It was actually a penalty.
Okay.
On 2 occasions on the field, and the VAR didn't actually even call to see whether it's a potential penalty or not. But that was actually a penalty.
Okay.
Both of them, in Nkuku's own, you could see that Van Dijk had his feet touched to Nkuku's foot.
Yeah, he actually missed.
Yes, he actually missed the ball and used. So he actually had that contact on Nkuku. Yeah. But you see the referee's decision. They didn't even.
So the VAR decisions this season has been very inconsistent, and that is one clear point in case that the VAR has not really done a really good job.
Sure.
You know, we would expect that going forward they should actually give us the best performances that we would expect from them as being the video referee assistants, because we are now entering into crucial matches, title defining matches and all of that, and some of these decisions, if you don't take care, can really cost the teams a lot. And so if Chelsea had actually gotten that penalty, would it have been the moment that they would turn around the game, or they would come into the game and even pull up a draw or a surprise win? Would it have been the case?
So going into this game, I know definitely Chelsea will prove themselves, but getting a win at Anfield will be very difficult for them. So when they were down by 2 goals in the first half, I was like, then it is over for them.
Okay.
So probably the 1 goal that came in the second half, by then Liverpool was leading 3-0.
Yeah.
So at least the penalty wouldn't have changed anything about the match. It will still be a win for Liverpool anyway.
Right. So like he's saying, the overall performance of Chelsea was very poor. Right from defense, midfield, strikers, everybody was poor, including the coach. I mean, you will have to set up a team like that. So we will also blame the coach. Yeah.
But me, I don't agree to Bruno saying that the penalty wouldn't have changed anything.
Okay.
I actually don't believe on that.
Okay. Goals change games.
Yeah, goals do change games.
Yeah.
In certain occasions, they do change. If the penalty should have been taken, seriously, the game would have changed.
Okay.
The game would have changed.
It would have changed anyway, but still Liverpool will carry the day, because we realized Liverpool was,
of which you don't know now,
dominating the attack. Look at the front three. It was Nunes wasn't much productive on that day.
Pitch,
you understand? If he has taken his chances, it would have been a very huge humiliation for Chelsea.
So Nkuku came in.
But you see, even with the addition of Nkuku, Chelsea only had 4 shots on target. Just 4. And they scored 1. Liverpool had 28 attempts.
Can you imagine?
You understand? So overall, Chelsea put out a very poor performance. Every aspect of the game. And that is not a performance that can get them into, how do you call it, Europa or Conference League. No. If they should go like that, then they are likely to end as they did last season at the 12th position. But quickly, let's look at Conor Bradley, a young talent who really proved himself that day. And people are actually starting to say that he can even replace Trent Arnold. But others are also saying, no, the level of Trent Arnold, it's left with, some margins before Bradley will get there. So what do you think? What were your impressions, with his performance?
That guy, he did play. Bradley really did play. Okay. But he's young.
Okay.
We giving him that hype is cool. You see, England and hype, if you push more, they will push you up.
All right.
But Alex Trent Arnold is on top of. He's on a different level. So you switching Arnold or you substituting Arnold for Bradley to fit in as a first 11 for Liverpool team, it will be very difficult.
Okay.
But as time goes on, we see players they do age, forms do come down to certain at certain period. So
sure,
definitely there will be a time he will be taking that position, no doubt about it. But for now, he's performing all right, but for him to bench Trent, it will take him a very lot of time on the field.
Okay.
Of hard ways to
Okay.
Trent.
Okay, Bruno, what do you also think?
Yeah, so Bradley is a good player operating from the left back. You realize that day he was moving forward a lot.
Yeah.
Replacing Arnold. It was a good tactics for the coach. Sometimes you have to give the young talent the opportunity.
Yeah.
So probably the coach thought that, this match is not a match I'll need Arnold. Okay, not because it is a tough game. It is because looking at Chelsea's standard and the players and their kind of performance they are putting up, it thought probably Bradley could have, proving himself, and God being so good, giving the chance, he was able to prove himself, and that is a plus for him as a young talent.
Sure. All right, so let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll look at the Man United and then the how do you call it?
Wolves
game. Wolves. All right, so we'll be right back.